So one of the biggest things has always been like a learning lesson, something that I'm always constantly being told. It's something that has always been a prominent thing in all of my notes in my acting work, and that is being present. And the reason why it's a constant thing is because like I overthink a lot. I am a very thoughtful person to my detriment a lot of the times. And I deal in, I'm not going to say I suffer because we're taking that out of our vocabulary for the rest of our lives, not even about the new year because, time is relative, but we're intentionally living our life differently. But I have struggled a lot with anxiety, and that constantly gets my wheels spinning. I'm always doing forward thinking, or I'm always thinking about something from the past, and it's just over and over is this cyclical theme of what's next. And what happens is that what I've learned is that by me not just honestly letting go, and a lot of it is control. Well, I'm not going to go out with you. Let me be real honest with you, because sometimes I be I just need to control certain stuff. I've let that go a lot, not even just this year, a lot of my life, because it is what it is, 'tis life. But I noticed that by my constant overthinking, I'm never able to enjoy the present moment and understand and acknowledge that a lot of what I've prayed for and a lot of what I've been trying to manifest and a lot of the wishes that I had as a younger child, I'm actually living that. I'm living my wildest dreams. I'm living the prayers that I've cried over, that I have been adamant about sticking to and being impeccable with my word in that kind of way as a promise to myself, that because I'm constantly thinking about everything else in the future and if I'm on track and all this other stuff, that I'm neglecting the fact that I am living the biggest blessing, that I am doing it. I'm living what I have envisioned for myself, even if it's not in the specific way that I want. I'm still in it. And I tell a lot of people this all the time, practicing gratitude helps with that, of even affirmations, as cliche as it sounds, of, thanking the universe, God, whatever you believe in, that you have life, you're waking up, you are breathing, which is a blessing that not a lot of people have and can say. And by being present, you acknowledge all of the blessings that you actually have. And I always tell people this, that this also goes with taking rest when you need to, that when you're present, you are able to fully acknowledge the blessings and the manifestations that you have envisioned for yourself, that you've asked God, the universe for, that you have pushed yourself for, because you don't want to get to a point where you're not present, you're constantly overthinking, you're constantly thinking about the next, to where when those blessings do come in, it's not enough, right? A lot of the things that I want for myself in my life, and I'm sure that you want for yourself in your life, you want it to last, right? But as humans, we are subject to certain shadow aspects, greed, certain things never being enough. But if you're constantly worried about the next thing and constantly overthinking and constantly being anxious about it and constantly trying to control certain things and not be present, when those blessings come in, they're never going to be enough. And then that's when that self-sabotage starts to come in, where it's well, I've never accomplished the things that I wanted to accomplish. It's did you know? Think about it. Did you or did you not? Because you got all of these different things, and even though it's not the way that you want them to be, you still have them. So, the universe be a little sneaky like that. Be did you know? Did you? So being present, and also when you're present, you worry about a lot less things, and not in an apathetic way, but it's just like, why am I worried about certain things that I cannot control? Why am I worried about things that haven't even come into fruition yet? And also, when you worry, and I've learned this, and I will never forget when I heard Bishop T.D. Jakes say this when I was going to church virtually on YouTube, because y'all be going to church. Worry is a fear prayer. If you worry about it negatively, you're going to manifest that outcome. So why would you not just be present and just not worry about it until you get to it? Yes, you know certain things are looming. Yes, you know certain things are, could potentially come up. But if you're present and you're constantly practicing that gratitude, you start to understand, like, I can't worry about the things that I can't control. And if I can't control it and I don't have an active hand in it, then why am I freaking out about it? I don't even know if I'm like explaining that in the best way, but like, it literally is what it is until you get to that point and you can worry about it. Now, if it's something that's like impending danger or something crazy like that, then that's something that you should worry about. But you shouldn't be over anxious about everything. And this is something I'm constantly trying to remind myself, because I forward think a lot. And also, like, not being present does throw off your discernment and whether or not you can trust yourself and your intuition. So practice that gratitude, even if it's like certain little stuff. Even if you don't, there are some days where I'm like in the thick of it and I'm like, well, shit, I don't know what I got to be thankful for, so I'm gonna just be thankful for being alive. That's enough. If that's all you can be grateful for one day, that's fine. You're a human. There's a spectrum of healing. There's a spectrum of feelings. Sometimes you can be thankful for 1,001 things, 1,000,001 things, or even just 0.5 of a thing. And something is better than nothing, because it's all about the intention behind it, and that you recognize that it literally could be worse. It could. We in the middle of a pandemic, so you already know it could be worse. So be present as much as you can, even if it's like, you can practice being present by doing certain little things every single day. Being present is all about your intentionality, practicing gratitude for what you have, but then also like stopping literally smelling the roses. Like, I like certain habits, like for example, like I wear socks a lot because I run cold all the time. I'm always cold. And it don't help that I live in a New York City apartment and they don't be turning on the heat because they don't want to be paying nobody's bills. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. But like, I love being barefoot because I like to feel, the ground that I'm walking on. If I was back at home in Ohio, I would go outside and put my bare feet on the concrete and in the grass. But I'm not doing that because it's New York City and New York City's dirty. So like, I'll walk barefoot around my apartment, noticing how my feet are on the floor, planted on the floor. Like, my feet be a little flat because, I got flat feet, but whatever. They cute sometimes. But even certain things like that, or really taking the time to actually stop and listen to the music that you're listening to. What are the lyrics? What kind of feeling is coming up with you? Washing the dishes. How does the soap feel in your hands? I know it sounds like a lot of like hippy dippy type stuff, but it works because life is short. So why would you spend it constantly worried about something or things that have not happened yet? But also, why are you constantly worried about things that have already occurred? So that gives you all the more reason to be intentionally present and be grateful for the things that you have, and even just the things that you are working towards, like understanding that. And also, when you're present, you start to see a lot of signs more that you are on the right path. It becomes that much more apparent because the universe, God, is always talking to us, always communicating with us. It's just up to us if we listen. But if we're constantly in that cycle of overthinking and being anxious, you won't hear the things that you need to hear and understand the things that you need to understand. So just stop and be a little present.